coming. And I would love to take this opportunity to thank you all for being here celebrating the second anniversary of the Inflation Reduction Act. I would also love to thank Alex and the EOPA for everything that you have done and everything that you continue to do. I feel I must mention that standing here right now in this capacity is part of a dream for me. As a young girl growing up in Nigeria, listening to stories by the fire, I was captivated by the power of stories. And further on screen, one particular story influenced my entire worldview. Star Trek Next Generation led me to believe there was a possibility of a future where we could grow up, where we could evolve, where we could do better. I have since been privileged to be able to play roles where I'm able to express my views on equality, on democracy, on freedom. The inner 5-year-old Nigerian girl was thrilled when Star Trek gave me the opportunity to be a part of their family. And it was with the inspiration and with the clarity of the writers of Star Trek Strange New Worlds that in the second season, in the second episode, we saw the comparison between the United Federation of Planets and our United States. Both believe in liberty and justice for all, and both, sadly, sometimes fall short due to embedded biases and antiquated laws. That is why I am excited by the Inflation Reduction Act. It is a climate justice law. To achieve equality, we must solve and work for environmental justice for all. The Inflation Reduction Act's focus on environmental justice and justice for the areas is historic, and it puts us on that path. Environmental justice thriving communities, technical assistance centers, have been established by the EPA to help communities apply for the funding and cutting through the bureaucracy that we all know can exist even in Starfleet. There is a lot of Inflation Reduction Act money yet to be allocated with the investments in clean air, climate resilience, and environmental justice. And we find ourselves on the cusp of a clean energy revolution. We find ourselves entering into a hopeful future. We find that we have the opportunity to do better. The arc of justice takes time. The arc of justice takes dedicated people. The arc of justice takes patience. Justice for all is the only true justice. When I think of the environmental justice leaders, I'm getting verklempt, the civil rights leaders who have come before us, I'm humbled when I think of civil rights, women's rights, equal rights, especially equal voting rights. I see that this law may move us towards a more perfect human, towards that better future, to a true American democracy. I do have to say that my experience in this past few days, working with all these incredible elected officials, learning from everybody, has definitely inspired me to want to be a further part of this. And since we're talking specifically about the Inflation Reduction Act, one thing that jumped out to me immediately was the fact that, as we say in Hollywood, no one ever wants to be the villain. But there's always something driving what one considers to be a negative act. And add to that, not having the ability to put food on the table, worrying about where the next paycheck will come from. When you tell someone like that, worry about the environment, they don't really feel the need to connect to that idea. And one of the most amazing things about this act is it creates so many jobs. Now people can put food on their table. Now people can take a moment to breathe. And now people can say, wait a minute, I'm doing that thing you were asking about in helping the environment. So to put it succinctly, the answer to your question is yes.